right. He's on the papers in the share, not. And the point of us, and then we got on all. So let's get present for a minute. Get present. We are in Chodesh Elul, and Chodesh Elul is the time that the time to get real. And what does it mean to get real? What it means to get real is that we are in a squeeze, and the highest madrega, the highest expression wants to be expressed in the lowest expression, wants to be expressed in Welt. And he planted these receptors here in Olam Asiyah, in this world. And it's our job to wake up so he can finally land in Lamata Masarat Tochem, which means in every aspect of Welt. It's time to stop taking ourselves so serious and start taking ourselves more serious, which means that the problems and the complaints that we are complaining about and that we're having is not the tachlis of what we're here for. That's just it's like we're hijacked by a different reality, which is not really our reality. Now, throughout the year, this is our job, to bring bitter to every aspect of your struggle, wherever you are struggling with. Whatever you are struggling with, that's what we're here to do. Once again, it's important to it takes off a lot of pressure from the chest. It takes off a lot of pressure from the heart. Once you switch the focus from being the problem to being here to solve the problem. And I'm holding space. There is a whole emotion of lack of expression. There's no air, there's no oxygen, and we're dealing with it. But Chodesh Elul, and we mentioned this on Friday, Chodesh Elul is a time where Melech Basada, which means that he comes to meet us wherever we are. He comes to meet us. He's in the Sada, which means he's out there in the Midbar, wherever you're stretched, however far you got, you're doing your work. You were sent in to the end of the corner of the Welt to go and do your work. He's coming to meet you there. And one of the ways to break out and to get some clarity is the Alter Rebbe has been busy in Tanya for the last 2 weeks with tzedakah. Tzedek tirdav, mishkursa b'tzedek echze panecha. With tzedek, I'm going to see your face. With tzedek means tzedakah. Why tzedakah? What's so strong about tzedakah? Because everything that we're doing here evolves around money. You work, you put in, your energy is fully invested in the money. Everything is in the money. Now, if one goes and takes from that he worked and wherever he is invested in, and you give from that place, you break open that shell, and tzedek as a panecha. You have a glimpse, you have a moment of clarity. Now, the problem is that we don't know how to give tzedakah. we give it al tanai that if I give that, then the deal is going to go through. If I do this, then that's going to happen, or whatever it is. It's okay, not your fault. We're learning, just like everything else. You go to the gym and you learn how to do the work. You're learning how to give tzedakah. And if you give tzedakah, it doesn't matter how much it is. If you give tzedakah from that place, from the right place, you have because there is after we give, there's a feeling that you have. Feel it. Feel good. You feel a flow. We're just not aware of it. We don't align ourselves properly, so therefore, you're missing the point. So the money goes, the energy goes somewhere else. Finish pafal, but listen, it's gotten you somewhere. It's gotten you here. Here is wherever you are in your life. So the Alter Rebbe goes on and on about giving money for tzedakah. And here, this is an important point from today. וזה שקוץ ובוהה מעשה צדקה שגם הצדקה נקראים בשם מעשה ולא בשם עבודה, אף סיר של סלט וסיר של אלה. So here he's talking about כמו שקוץ בצדק, אך זה פונך יכנס כלאל. אך אחר התפילה יוכל לי סערה חויזה ונאיה בקל, לזכרת בטויב, כאשר יש הלך בחשקס אולם הזה, אך הצדקה בכנס עבודה, הנה מעשר יעקב וגודל מלאסה Moed. Yeah, I'm going to explain it, yeah. Okay. Here you go, like this. זה שקורא בואי מעשה הצדוקה. שגם הצדוקה נקרא בשם מעשה. צדוקה זה גריף בשם מעשה, because here, yesterday, you have to get out the difference between do the Varga Tazoi. Tisrol Betev men gewoon met Goyim L'Chasudin. Ayid Betev is Rachmem and a Goyim L'Chasudin. Betnai Hayoish Nafshesein Meshachs Mivadoyse Bizbarat. Asher Achesed Goyver Behem. Ayid comes from the Midas from Eibishtin, so to speak. The level of where Midas start showing up. Asher Achesed Goyver Behem, Val Midas Adin Vagvir Vatzimtzin, כמו שכוסף גובר חזה על ירayet. Chesed is goyver al yirayet. Is goyver of the midas of gevira. So pshat is that ayid. Let's just say that the body, the guf, is a gevira digazach. It's in a restraint. It's in a restriction. Your pain, your struggle, you're dealing. Yevuda bagoyim alaynei nikmas dam avdei chashafuch. Nikmas dam avdei chashafuch is got nisharof of Magat Hargen and the Goyim. That the Melech did already. Nikmas dam avdei chashafuch, we're dealing here with the Midas. The Midas of their Gerif and Goyim. All the Midas, alle Sachen was a mensch mitchitich mit, and really it's a bloody battle. It's a bloody battle. It's a tremendous amount of pain. Every time you failed, every time you're going through thoughts that are not aligned. These are different things that are pulling you. Those are the midas that are pulling you, and it's time to nikmas dam avdei chashafuch. Pshat is man soll kommen haben schon von den midas. Was that a little blit vergessen. Blit vergessen is that you're getting up Monday morning or Tuesday and you're having pain. You're having pain, and because of that, you do something that is not aligned with your flow, and that is causing you, different and falling into did something wrong, received something back wrong. It's happened when I got a binyan from them, from that place. But as the chesed can sich gover sein of the geviras, okay. Shelchen nikres hanashama bas kohen. The neshama wird geriefen the bas kohen. Kohen ish alien, which is a kohen is beginnes kohen shemidas achesed. Kohen is a midas achesed. Kahana rabba arna kohen. What's the arna kohen getin? an König in der Menorah, von der Menorah ist rausgegangen, in der 7 Licht, das ist geregelt der 7 Middes, und von dort ist rausgegangen auf die ganze Welt, ist rausgegangen Schäfer. Die Gas und Oil, von alle Seiten. Komm ich kurz besorgen, Kudisch, dahinter, komm ich kurz besorgen, Kudisch. Dahinter hat es Lukas an dem Schechers, wir beginnen so, Nikle Beshem Masse, Masse zu docken. Es wird gerief von der Masse, der Kishem Masse, der Wort Masse, der Nummer Masse, Neufel, Aldover Shikovar Nase, aber sagt, es ist schon getein geworden. Oisha Nase Tommel Memele, es wird im ganzen, es halt an ein Weg, geht hier noch einmal und noch einmal. Wir hier Dover Heuve, wir Rogel Tomit. Das ist eine Sache, was ist Heuve, jetzt in the present moment. And it's a regular stomach. Afghan, and I made it a chesed, that Rachmunas hitba banafshis kol beis Yisrael mekavad. Meis beriusam, v'shal shilus, v'medois v'zvorach moshkos, v'hitach ba'apah. They made it a Rachmunas is in the essence of Hayedi Yid. Also wir starten kurz auf Vita ba'apah, v'ata nafach tabi, and man danafach, metoich anafach. Der Abschnitt daran geblusen an der Schumme. Und wenn ein Mensch blust daran hat, das kommt es von seiner Essence, kommt von innenweinig, mit Teuchen auf. Der daran geblusen an der Schumme, which is the essence of this oil, this light that generates everything, and that's chesed, because something that's not chesed doesn't give, doesn't lose anything around in anybody. Halt alles was is. So automatically, already, just we're trying to, our job is to understand Torah in a very practical way. Nicht nur so mamur, but the angeblosen in the shuma va'atan afachtabi, okay, back to my thing. No, va'atan afachtabi is like when I blow something into somebody, then I'm giving. It's already an action, an act of giving. It's a mass of giving. V'gam b'chol yom b'yom metuva mechadash masse bereishis. Jeden tug is a mechadash the masse bereishis. V'chabdushon labekurim. So this is being there with Giri from Masa. That's what's with Giri from Masa. Okay, yeah. Whereas Machshava is up for, it still needs to happen. The Machshava, but it's a different Masa. It's action. Masa is something that, yeah. That's the limit to make it. Yeah. Wenn sie kommt von Machshuva, is noch nicht an action. Sie ist noch nicht geting geworden. Machshuva tov mataf l'masa is fine, but let's just say an action of masa is something that is happening. It's actually happening right now. We are here as a result of tzedukah. Because he gave us over, he's doing a chesed, and we are, as a result of that chesed, of the masa, we are here right now. Then you're not acting it out yet. I mean, it's done. It's a shred to him. Okay? Correct. Yes, because tzedukah is something that has to be done b'poel mamash, b'mansha. Yes. But I've given tzedukah. Anything, yes. We can't see a tzedukah with an uni with dal, which is ayid, anybody, in any situation the person is. You meet somebody, you give them, you lift them up and all that. All right. Achlush navoida in enough elal duba sheudem oise begiya atzuma negativa nafshe. Avoida wird nicht geriefen nur, aber matita was is avoida, which is keneged manteva. Raksha mavatel teva. Is mavatel zanteva. Tzoino in zijn roetsen, dat mijn roetsen naar Eldenburgi. Gaan liggen, atsma batoire betzilla ad nutsia nefesh. And at different levels that until you give yourself completely over. The afkan the mitzvahs at tzedukah litten harba yosef meteva rachmanisa tzoino. Kon shamar waarschijnlijk gewoon hebben maar postig nus na veel meer komen. So the part of tzedukah is it's an avoider. You have to do it from a place that is that more than what you against your will, and when you do that against your will, which is like this physical goof doesn't want to give. I work so hard, there's like calculations and all types of cheshbonos, but when you give against your will, then you're breaking the shell, and when you break the shell, you break the chayma, you get into more ruach. It's more tzura, and in tzura you're basically more in the belt and light and oil. And from that place, anything is possible. because as long as I'm still in Chomet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G has to happen in order for this to work out. But if I get into a place of above my Chomet, I get into a place of Ruach, in a second, change can happen in a second. Okay, so I want to make this point. Okay, so here we go. Look, I want to get to this point. So look, even so, it has to be done with the Sidus Lasata. By doing it, the work down here, you awaken Sidus La'ela. And what's the Sidus Lasata means the work from down here. Sidus La'ela means from up there. And what is the work of up there? Chesed. So you tap into the Chesed. This is how you create a separation. You create a moment of clarity from the Eid and Sabaruchu, Ba'ar Rabba Vashpa Atzuma, with tremendous Ara and big Ashpa. Banasa Shalom b'Meronov, Sevet Shulam, Begam Pamali Shamata. Then we get to look at Shulam b'Meronov, because there is a struggle. There is the Geviris, and then there's the Chesudim, and there's a conflict. But by giving tzedukah, you're making shulam b'meroimah. You tap into something higher. You tap into his. So you have two. You have the right and the left. They're battling it out. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. By giving tzedukah, you're tapping into his midah, which is kohen ish alien. You're tapping into a higher, something that's above, something that's higher from these two chaver over here, and that's why you mamshech chesed alien. Yeah, stimmt. To do b'shem masa and below b'shem avoda. Tzedukah is b'shem masa, but even if it's b'shem masa, it has to come through avoda. In other words, it has to be a pinch. No, B'shem Masa, v'lo b'shem avoda. It's gerifim b'shem Masa, something that has to be done, something that you have to do. The word of the no, these are controversies. The word of the b'shem Masa is that something that is already happening. That's what I said. The word Masa means something that is happening in the Hoiva, which means that the chesed is already there. It's already happening. By us doing it down here, we're tapping into that. So it's already there. You just have to you have to open yourself, you have to align yourself. There's a constant flow coming. And we can choose which channel we want to tap into, how you want to get this flow to come through you. So B'Shem, if you do it by Tzedukah, you're tapping into the flow of Chesed. And there becomes an Esgalas. Because it has to have a pinch, because in order to break open the chomet, right? I'm in a box. I'm in a cast. The whole day you're going through. There's a symptom. There's a pull. There's gevurah. There's a pull. How do I break out from something that's pulling that vacuum? How do I push forward? So I got to do a double action in order to break out from the vacuum. I have to do twice as strong to break out from that. But the word is that on the other side there is chesed. On the other side there is flow. I just have, it's pulling, like I can't. It's like push through, and you'll be on the other side. Because it's already there. You're not creating it, it's already there. You're just tapping into his chesed that is being blocked by the pullback. Okay. וגם פמל שמעת, רק שבאוילם הזה השופל, and they do an oilem hazeh, and they niedrige Platz, lo yisgal la shulem v'hadir itirid hara, ma'toiv ada eskeet. V'lo b'zman ha'golos kanal. And they here were so down, so low, that it's you can't really see this massive flow that you're creating when you're giving the tzedakah. Rak v'oilem katan yu adam b'chol eis matzah. Only in the adam katan, only the oilem katan, which is the mensch, b'chol eis, Matzezu. Mechales Matze. Jede Zeit, ein Mensch kann sich eilig treffen an der Platz, through Tfillah. Moshkose betzedek erze panecha. Gam Tfillah nase inyan hashalom v'habirir, ala toiv mohera. Through Tfillah, there's a bitter from Toizara. When a mensch taps into Tfillah, we already know what Tfillah means. Tfillah means that everything that you are experiencing, anything that you're going through in your day is part of your Tfillah. Right? So you're in Tfillah. Once you tap into that, you're not taking it personal anymore. It's just like you come home and the stuff is spilled on the floor, and then this is out of place. You can take it personal, or you can just clean it up or get it done. This is how the whole day. Don't take it personal. It's going to be good. You just have to do the job, get it done, and you'll find yourself on the other side of it. Achar Tfillah. When I mention in Tfillah, when you are mindful, when you're present, you are good. You see it, you understand it. You see it clearly. The problem is that when you go out of flow, you're back to square one. Bakal, easily you can go back to it, but that's not really what he's talking about. He's talking about the actual Tfillah. But anything is a Tfillah. Bakal is out of a Tov. Back to Chof and easily to get ausgemish b'tev. Kasher salach b'cheshkas olam hazeh. As you go back into this cheshkas olam hazeh, they felt with the daily struggle, easily you get back into the ra. Achat tzedakah b'chinas avoda. Tzedakah, when you do it from a place of avoda, hine ma'ashi yakar v'gadol malusa v'moed moed, because Metzad HaTeva, the tzedukah is a zoy tayet, v'yosim avatal teva eretzoyne, whereas mavatal zan teva, which is the teva from this thing is not to give. Eretzoyne is an rotzen, is desire, hagifni, but rotzen ha'elin, is mavatal van rotzen ha'elin, b'rechiv is kafe sitra achra. It is miskafe halt zerig dan sitra achra, which is the other side. The other side is my lack of wanting to give, the natural state of being of the body of the guf, not to give. And when you're breaking that out and you're doing against the will, that means you're aligning yourself with his will. So we are here in a vacuum and a pull of a lack of that we don't want to give. And by forcing and giving, we're aligning ourselves with a higher vacuum, which is the roots and the alien, which is chesed. And when you do that, there's a bigger sved der hoiden the kuvitz and the kitchebrichi. Kitchebrichi is the masculine. The Shechina is the feminine. Kitchebrichi is the masculine. We are Shechina, and Kitchebrichi is the one that gives. He's the provider. So when you break Iskafia, then you're aligning yourself and you're receiving from him. Is the picture clear that we are dry and Kitchebrichi keeps providing the midas, he keeps giving. But we can't receive because we are in the vacuum of. But once I break out and I make it out from the wind tunnel, I'm able to receive from Kitchebrichi. And through there is a yisr of oil through the choshech. When I'm walking, but when I'm being pulled back and I fight and I push out, just like when a car spins out of the snow and then it just takes off, it's the same similar concept. This is the point that I wanted us to. It's an important point because everybody here has moments. Take on a chlutus, you take on different things that stretches the work that you're doing, and you can go weeks and you're fine, and then all of a sudden you're back. You had a relapse. So this is what the Alter Rebbe tells us here. This is how this works. Therefore, once you do that and you break out, the choshech cannot come back easily. It's not true when you're saying I had a relapse. Not true. You did not have a relapse. Because once I break out, once you break the skin and there's a wound over there, and you crack your skin, it's not, you can't go back. It's open. You're out. Once you get rid of something, and you did it for a minute, and you got rid of it, and you had a relapse, is because you went back there, and you played with it, you triggered it. But by itself, it's not going to wake up. Now, we don't know this. So I think, in my mind, I'm registered that I'm a smoker. This is it. But says the Alter Rebbe, the way this machine works is that once you do something and you pull yourself away from it, and you're not doing it anymore, and then you have a relapse, and then you think that it's not there anymore. It's in Machshuvah. Yeah, Maya. That's the difference in Machshuvah and Maaseh. That's a good example, as Machshuvah and Maaseh. It's in my Welt. It's in memory. And I'm going to it. I'm finding it, and I'm aligning myself with it. The same way I can align myself with that, I'm aligning myself with this. With that, I mean, with the Chesed, and with this, I mean, the other side. Chad and Avodah Tzedukah is Hashket and Betach Adolam. This is Avadik. This is Fazichet. Hashket is Miloshen Shoykit al Shemorev. The Hainish Hashemorim Nefrodim Lagamrim and Ayam V'Nefim Lamata Lagamrim V'Ayam Lamal Azach V'Tzul V'Tachlas V'Derech Zeh Yeh B'Avodah Tzedukah. When a mensch gets Tzedukah, he separates himself. As you break out from your shell, every time you break out, the Shemurim, the Zatz from the Vam, falls up of him. Starts going bottom, bottom, bottom. And it's like the murky water. When you see the water, it's clear, and then once you move it, tap on the oxygen, and the Zam tap on the oxygen. The same idea over here. This is air. The body's gemacht van air. Offer Atta will offer Tashuv. But that's that's the idea of meditation, sitting in stillness, sitting in silence, sitting in stillness. And it takes about 20 minutes for the body to be completely silent, for everything to go down. All the zat to settle in. And when the sliders move, you're bringing it back up. And we're going to talk about it in a minute, what that means. The Shemurim de Zat is the beginning from the Ra and the Nefesh. Nivre v'nifret ma'at ma'at at shenuf l'mata l'mekore v'shasha. Ze werd mavarer en ze werd separated la'at la'at, ma'at ma'at, bis ze valt terug en ze gaat terug wie ze kind zijn. Which is it offer. The body is made out of earth, and from this place I'm communicating, and I'm doing actions, and I'm receiving. So when I've been zamtig, I'm communicating, I'm receiving air. But if you let it drop and you start getting in touch more with your higher conscience, with your higher self, it settles down and it goes back to where it comes from. Magnetic field. This pulls down, and you start aligning yourself with your higher conscience, with your neshama. Warft eraan alles in de tiefnis van Wasser, alle gedaan. So this is what we need to know from Tanya. Okay. So. Only if you awaken it. In other words, when einer had a relapse, don't think that ich kann sputen werden von dem. You could go back. I mean, it depends. It depends if there is a proper iskashas tzadikim and all that. It depends how deep the cleansing is. But the Alter Rebbe says that you can never, that it's not there anymore. It's just that we're awakening it. If somebody goes back to it, he's awakening it. Yeah. Okay. Next. What's mine? Look, the Alter Rebbe, the master program writer, der was geschrieben in the program, laat ons wissen, als es te wissen, als es te gejogeloos te vinden. You did let go of it. You did let go of it. And what the relapse that you're dealing with right now is something that it's in your head, and you is in trouble. You went to that corner of the city. You went to look for trouble. The awakening, there's different levels. There's Masa, Tzedukah, there's Avodah. By giving Tzedukah is breaking, Eskafia, Sitach, and Tzedukah goes on every level, physical money. And Tzedukah also goes, I'm doing a Tzedukah with them money. We look my fertig take, ze werden puten van a bad habit. Fertig take is enough time to be completely out from that habit. What? You know, the same thing that you do to go to it, the same length you want to go away from it. Huh? Do the story soon. All right. Why do we want to look at it from a different perspective? Yes. Okay, we'll bring it closer. Let's see what the Zohar says, Shimon says on this topic, and then we'll see if it gets more clear. So let's go into the level of stillness. How do you get rid of something completely? So Weisz as Chodesh Tisha, Tibe Chodesh Shofer, Bekesel Yom Chagenu. Chodesh Tisha is Benchman is the Chodesh. We got the Shidduch and Kiddush Chodesh. And Seved Bekesel also is behalten, it's a Tigedek. So Rav Shimon tells us here how this works. So the way it works is as follows. Are in the middle, Vloyed, Ele train Saden in en al Barnash. Doet zwei eiders auf ein Mensch. Ein Roi, wo Oizen Shemaas. De Oig zeet, en de Oig heert. De Bezen Sofer, wat dan Choyve. The Bezen is Sofer, I mean, zijn dan de mensen of zijn avoiners. Maakt het zo. They consciousness, the way it works is, you see something. Seeing is the highest level of processing. Chachma, the Chachma sees something. It's just the state of being. Chachma doesn't have explanation. When you see a scenery, when you see something, you don't need explanation on what you're seeing. You just saw it. It's breathtaking. It's beautiful. That's it. Oizen Shemaas, that's already been a Cher. Tatzah steppers, I was there and it's like, wow, and I'm trying to imagine what it feels like, what it looks like, and all that. The way we process stuff is we see and we hear. Chachma and Bina. Every thought a person has, especially every speech a person speaks, you are awakening, you're inviting. We spoke about this. Every word you speak, you're taking an energy and you're trapping it in oasis. You're sending it into an oasis, into letters, sending it out there. It can be as simple as being in the shul and somebody says something and you're adding something to that. Yeah, he is like that. You just woke up. You just exposed yourself. It's almost like it's a radar detector. Yeah, the plane, he flies. The B-52 bomber is there. Nobody can pick him up. And then the slightest movement he makes, he lets something out. He just sends flares up. All the lights start lighting up. Now you can be in a place, you can be deep in your work, and you drop something, and now you just woke up all the antennas. All the lights go up, and now they start processing. They start the shoftim, the mekatrigim. They wake up and they're like, what is he saying? It's happening down. Okay, let's see where you are. And it doesn't have to be. You don't have to think about it as people sitting and being down. It's natural. You're sending out a flare, and this flare is gonna receive action. Somebody's gonna pick that up. So the avodah of Tisha, of Elul, is bakesa. You got to be in silence. You got to be still. Don't complain. Don't agree with the complaints. Just be present with yourself. Learn how to sit in stillness. The more stillness you can practice, when it comes to Shashuna, all we're left with is the kol shefer. From the depth of your heart, reaching out. This is bakesa leim chagani. It's called aerodynamic. You know what aerodynamic is? Aerodynamic is that cyclists, they wear very tight clothing, so nothing can. The wind, you just become one with it. Very tight. Everything is. There's nothing loose. You want to be tight. Okay, Shkintim sit the Kessi, Alma Discassia. The Tzorach Banash L'chaber Lahi Aser. We have to get to a place that goes up to Kesser, where there is no Shiva is, first of all, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm machlit that I'm not doing it anymore. I have a machuta that I'm not doing it anymore. Charuta, that's already, in other words, I'm plugged in to this, and once I say I'm not doing it anymore, then you're pulling yourself out from that place, and you're aligning yourself, going back to Tashevka, you're going back to Yudke, to the Yudke and the Vavke. We live in the Vavke, which is the Vav, and the Hey, which is the Midas and Malchus, and we want to go to Yudke, which is the Bina and Chachma and Kesser. You know what Kesser is? Kesser is Kirashech Kohen, silence. All right, so this is your practice for your exercise for the study. Yeah, but we're preparing for that. All right, this is the Silas Salasata. This month, the Chodesh Megatati. To have to be, you can't just show up. Mitamul, I'm here. I'm running a marathon, 26 miles. You have to. The marathon is yes, but we need to prepare for that. Sit still is there's a lot of work in sitting still. I'm saying sitting still is, as I'm complaining, as different stuff is coming up for me, I'm sitting in silence. Yes, yes. Silence doesn't mean that I'm not doing nothing. I'm being very proactive, being silent. There's different triggers that keep coming up, and you have to learn to. So how many times during the day and this friend comes into mind, and right away there's resistance. Right away you're feeling, oh, he said this to me, he said that to me. Like we have so many times during the day, just triggers that are coming up. Different triggers that are coming up. And it's to be, don't judge it. It's okay. Try to find, don't get caught up in the, you know how many times we have battles in our minds? Mashik the messages. What you have resentment towards something. Just get into a place that, okay, we'll deal with this later. For now, I'm holding. What's that? Some things have to be addressed. But don't get caught up in a place where your blood starts cooking. When you start feeling that fight, the resentment, you're opening yourself up to receiving back. Correct. You're opening yourself up to, yes. And one of the koyach to help overcome this is with tzedukah. It's a tzedukah. I'm doing a tzedukah if I'm not paying attention to it. If I'm sitting in stillness and I don't address it, I'm doing a tzedukah. We're talking about two different levels of tzedukah. Tzedukah is physical, giving money. And also tzedukah is by, if I have a cheshbon with somebody, I'm choosing not to get into a relationship with that. Sometimes during the day, I feel I get triggered, and I'm like, you start feeling your blood starts cooking. Dam resachas, tapen kochen, and you're abstaining from that. You're pulling back from that. That's a skafia. Instead of investing my energy and trapping myself in that relationship, I'm holding back. Take a deep breath, relax, smoke your cigarettes, whatever you got to do, but stay present. That's called bitter hamidus. Finish. No, what about tzedukah about? Yeah, you want to give, for sure you want to give. No. Giving is giving. Pause. No, listen, there's sometimes you feel like it. Well, let me give. No. Yeah. If you want to give somebody, yeah, sure. If you want to give, you're saying the guy that came to Hakan a copy and took for a closet, that guy. No, we easier give the 20, the 100, $1,000. Yeah. Listen, I've seen people that I observe that sometimes when these cover come around, and they're like, no, I'm not giving. I don't feel like giving. You're not mechiv to give. And as a schnatter comes to draw the cup in, you know that it's avoided. I know everybody struggles with it. We covered this from many different angles. Right? It's a struggle. The cover came in a jeden tog, and not the job. It's like, laat me schon op. En dan maakt men een judge, heeft geen ganze speel. Ja, gegeven, niet gegeven. Ik weet de goot, je moet zelf schnatter. No, it's a gula spin. It accomplishes, but it's more if you give it from a place of a break. It's correct. Very good. Yes. There's definitely more. It's the more avoided that you put in, the more break it is, the more effect it has. The more effect it has. Yes. All right. Let's go inside him. Ani l'dei b'dei l'roi b'shashanim. my beloved, I'm to my beloved, and my beloved is to me. Haroi b'Shoshanim is that a pashet in the roses. Hine, Shoshanim yesh b'tleiser alen. A rose has 13 blätter. Keneged yid gimel machilon derachme. Shebapasik nikel kamoicha. Is gegen the machilon derachme, which is the dratzen middes from the putzig from Mikel kamoicha. Shebapasik kel derachme. So Mikel kamoicha and kel derachme Hashem kel derachme mechanan. Moshe Rabbeinu teruge bring kel derachme mechanan. And Michel, and also nicht just Michel. Der wird schauen, was gerade von so ist nur Michel. Noch eine wissen, noch gerief nach dem, weil es zugebringt let. Consider it. Wer? The last one we get in Michel. Where? Okay, one of the two. Anyways, there's another situation there. And, okay, yeah, consider it of Michel. Okay, fine. Shemesham hu mokar tshuva. Von dort is the mokar von tshuva. Lias neuse oven. The kinder heiden oven. In other words, we need something to be able to carry the weight of the sin. If Eibishter is full of rachamim and halterain geben, technically speaking, how do we align with that? As the balabus is a satmar. How can he tolerate the Lubavitcher? Okay? How does this work? So if he's full of compassion, full of giving, how does he tolerate our shenanigans? So the Yidgam Mitzrayim, which is there's such a level of compassion that he can tolerate anything. And Noise Uven is the fact that the Welt is still guide to no matter how much resistance we are doing, how much we're doing not in alignment, comes from Yidgam Mitzrayim. The Hamam is gone about Chodesh Elul. Zayv in Chodesh Elul comes it full on. It gets a full display. Shals who beginnes Eisratzen, because then it is as man from Eisratzen, Tatzat from Ratzen. What does it mean Eisratzen? We'll get into that soon. In Chodesh Elul ad Yom Kippurim, fin Chodesh Elul bis Yom Kippurim, hem mem yom she'ala Moshe Rabbeinu all v'shon l'morim. Moshe is overgegangen in the Himmel, l'kabel luchas erachrenes. Ema yom Rishon beratzen, avgam luchas erachrenes. Just the way the erste lichas is going beratzen, the Eibishter gewollt, and we would have thought, Ken Zana haben in a noch an Eigel, got the Eigel that he wasn't, the Eibishter wasn't so satisfied. Like, okay, du hast den am delichas and als gebeten, schön sei, guy, no. It was fully beratzen. But that's because of Eroi B'Shoshanim, it's Alani the Dode V'Dodeli, Chodesh Elul. Anila Dode V'Dodeli is Chodesh Elul. Man kennt das von Anila Dode V'Dodeli, ich bin von mein Liebe, and mein Liebe is von mir. I'm from my beloved is to me. There's a relationship here that we have with the Eibishter. And this is Chodesh Elul. But tzarech lahaven. Darf man verstehen. Ma ihnen Yidgim mit Sarachman b'Chodesh Elul. Wist they in the Yidgim mit Sarachman Chodesh Elul bishlen baseres meit shuva viel gefragt bei Kesse the Fischer. Das similar kashe. Bishlen b'Chodesh bishlen baseres meit shuva and the tzedek from baseres meit shuva to shin shurim kippur. Yitach Hashem yimei slichim chila. Is take from slichim chila. But lekach amrim baseres meit shuva v'yavar avai. Als het maver gewin auf in der Chatum. Aber wusste jetzt in Chodesh Elul, wusste man der Tshuva, bei Ihnen hu, der Hinnen hat Tshuva, eine Elul ist Davke, Tshuva ist nicht nur auf ein Virus, geht Tshuva din. Shall Tzolach Liz Koyam of Tshuva, jeden Tag darf man Tshuva din. Every day you have to align yourself and open yourself up to a place of flow. Ele begin is Tshuva hu, Sheshav mit Darke Edition. Tshuva is, als keert zich terug van zijn Darke Edition, van zijn weg, when Shkosef was the rain of Tshuva Shlema lefanecha. Neem ik terug op Tshuva Shlema van die. Ubira in hem. Hinnen we dit gezal. Yes, base days. Es doet 2 days. Eget ooit met Talmud Gadol. Eine zoekt zu machloikes. Eine zoekt als 2 days. Dus machloikes is dat daar. An opinion. Eine zoekt als Talmud Gadol. Eine zoekt ze kennen als 8 euro. Is beter. Eget ooit met Massa Gadol. Eine zoekt dat actions zijn beter. Zijn aggressive. Kens kennen wieveel die kent. But if you're not doing, then you're not. It's kind of conservative. We nemen we gamre. Met de gezegd met gomer gewinnen. Talmud Gadol shemei willen de massa. Als a Talmud was einer was can lernen and bringt es auch in action. Jens that's the bottom line. That's where you need to be. Well, often in the Machlekusim to verstehen sei Machlekes, wo Mike Mittelke and was the ganze the conflict the Yesh Lahagdim davon mag das immer lahaven schillen zu verstehen koide Maschkot was Shemaim was Earth animale. The Himmel and the earth animale filichon. The Kasha will gesehen, Molay Chaloris Kavoide. The Loy Niske Shemaim. Staat Molay Chaloris Kavoide, viel tun the ganze earth, and she started the word Shemaim. Begam, Shisham Nemer, Animole, we can't shift Kavoide. Dat en een plaats staat Animole, ik vul die ganze plaats, en du staat Kavoide, Mulayolem. Terwijl is het. The difference between Ani, Mole, the Ivishtar line fill tune, and Kovid, Kavoide Mulayolem met twee zaken. Kavoide is if Kavoide, it is the reflection, the strahl, is the rays of the sun. To do the Zina line. En nog maar doet de light dat komt eruit van de zin. Het zijn twee zaken. Terwijl is het. Is de zaak alleen of is het nou de COVID? Agin je doet, dus wat is, de eerste normale kalamen of zo kalamen? Ze doen normale kalamen met zo kalamen. Het is normale kalamen. Normale meint als er veel doen de ganze wereld. Normale kalamen wel de kalamen met zo kalamen. Zo kalamen means that he surrounds de ganze wereld. Normale meint dat gaat eraan. This is zo. And Mamala is the Wasser was in a weinig. That's Mamala. The first Mamala Kalamu who beginnen ze Ares Elakuz, Sha'animshich ben Evram. This is the Ares Elakuz, V'Shanimshich ben Evram, Lach Yosef. We are living off of Mamala Kalamu. In other words, the Dua Bari, was walked therein, and in the weinig is umgevuld met Achias, met Akoich, was get Achais for it to be able to function. Anish ben Avram lach Yotzim Masar Mamoris hi oil. Then habe ich dir gesagt hi oil. Deswegen gegeben der Koich von uns Mamala Kalama. Bedvar Hashem. Shim Mislabash bepnemusam betoich toich Mamash. Des wird Mislabash in der Weinig and in der Weinig Mamash. Toich Mamash. Je nimmt sich bekerbam. Es wird nimmt sich in der Weinig lias Chies lahem as azam fazah Chies. Behoem schalik lech halakim lias mechalik kol chalafim shira delay. Dus wird mechalik is in different halakim als jeder eine loodzaan shir wieveel kan beheiben als wieveel Chies bekimmt het. Waarderig Moshe begashmis bedömen tzmei chai medaber. Du adömen was is a stein tzmei is a boim chai is a chai en medaber in zeme medaber. Shadömen magam shen is have gam ken masar mamoris. De doim de stein is ook het beschaffen worden van asur mamoris. We nemen zich bij gam ken Chies alakis chai is alakus. Ze werd neemt zich dat ook met a chai is alakus. Maar ooit zei mama van dezelfde mama was gezocht die hier ooit. Moest je neemt zich chai is alakus met zemaik we chai. Alles komt van dezelfde mama. De boim, de stein, iedereen komt van dezelfde zaak. De medaber. Maar kom, ga je met zumzum, ze wat ze mij geeft bij gaasjes. De duim had dat zag, de stein had dat zag weinige gaas, de mensen dat stein. De ze mij geeft bij gaasjes had meer gaas. Maar ga je gaan maar naar ze mij. De ga je had meer van de ze mij gehoord, want medaber is een juist. Maar geen erg zeg, gaan bij Elul Saruchim. Similar, het is wel belegd aan de Elul Saruchim. Yes, schalkes madreges rabbis. Do schalkes separations from a lot of madreges. El kulum nimshech chayes meshunu v'nivdul chayes en nimshech zelasim. For jeder man is weet nimshech a andere ni chayes from wo sie kimt van anderen. V'hainu, and this is memidus in Malchus is bar shuanik mamala kalam. Okay, we all know Malchus is time and space, and Malchus gives the separation of wiffel jeder zag darf leben. This is a ganze arichas and sidus, how the chiyas, the kav, and midas, and all that. But let's just say that Malchus is the one that puts things into perspective, so to speak. Here is where things are in proper alignment. In separation. In separation, the jeder zag wiffel chayes het af te beginnen. Waarom midas machis is baruch shohanik in mamala kalamu, she meslapish betuig olamas mamash. Ze werd meslabisch in de veld mamash. Maar we beginnen zeven kalamen. We beginnen van zeven. Hoe beginnen ze haar spa? We horen dat de kusje één neemt zich van een slavische terughouden. Maar ze beginnen gili. Die is moesik was gassen. Elu we beginnen ze maken wel alleen met de mijlen. Waar ken ik er zeven kalamen? Ze zeven le kulen. We shaven. Geen bij schalkes. Maar als je één meslabisch beginnen gili bij zagen. Je toch alleen maar ze hoe meer mesgale kaag wil zeggen. Okay. Mamale Kal Alman is what fills up the body inside. Yedanan became Panimius. Sovev Kal Alman doesn't know measurement. It doesn't differentiate Fa'im Gel Chazefel, Fa'im Gel Chazefel. Sovev Kal Alman is the outside. It's Shavim, Mashbe, Cotton, Godlik, everything is equal. Because it's higher from time and space, it's higher from Tam Vadas, it's higher from any type of, it doesn't speak our language, it speaks Eibishter language, which is the whoever's phone it is, which is that the guy that is the billionaire, he doesn't make a difference to him, this guy or that guy, it's the same thing. Yeah? When the Melech comes to us and he meets the president, this guy, that guy, this is all bespiel. Hi. Next. He doesn't shove him much. Now, from a place of mamale, it's hard to do true. It's hard to do true because I have to pekel mit cheshbonos, and I have to finish. If you're going to clean up, she cleaned up, he cleaned up, so he got the prize. You have to do A, B, C, and D. So there's a ganze cheshbon. But from a place from Soivet Kalama, where it's Shuvim Mashve, it's the same thing. The energy is so intense, it's so pure, it's so removed from Welt, that ein Mensch kann umgehen mit der ganzen Säckel, mit der ganzen Päckl mit Cheshbonos. Then it's kein Chilik von mir. To the 100,000, to the 1,000, a billionaire. It makes no difference to me. Yeah, fine. The only thing you have to do is you have to have charuta. You have to say that I'm not going to do this anymore. And that's it. You're done. You're over it. Yes. From a place from Mamale, if this container is this big, I can put in over here 20 ounces of water. And then can I get on like a gallon of water. Because I'm measuring based on the fact of how much it can hold. But if I'm on the outside of this, it makes no difference to me if it's this one or if it's that one. It's the same thing. If I pour in here, if I pour in there. I don't measure by measurement. It doesn't work with Medida V'Hagbola. It's not a Malchus program. It doesn't make a difference how big you are, how much you can understand, or how much. It's the same thing. I have the same compassion for you. It makes no difference to me because it's child's play to me. It's like kindergarten. For him, it's the ganze Leben is for you, it's like no problem. Okay, no problem. Here, I'll give you another one. It makes no difference. That is the Mamala program, and that's where the Rebbe will also bring here. How does tshuva work? Now remember also, from the Zelba Platz, in the Semachtish Kanchili, Wiffel Pekel Menschat, and wants to stop and align himself immediately in 1 second. From the Platz, from there, not to do the right thing, to do an Aveira also. From a place of Mamale, I'm limited to what I can do and what I can't do. From a place of Soivis, we have the koyach to stretch. Something like this. The Soivis we get more challenged because Soivis gives us the koyach, the freedom to do out of bounds. Because of Soivis, we can look at Chila do something wrong. But because of Soivis, we can also do the way we can correct something is because we have the koyach of Soivis. The rubber, I can't, oh yeah, there you go. I think I'm getting closer. This thing is limited. This is it. I can't stretch it. A rubber band I can stretch. I can stretch it so it gives me the flexibility that even if I gain the pound, I can still wear my pants. But at the same time, it also gives me the ability to make it more comfortable, to make it smaller. It gives me the koyach to go in with it. it also gives me the koich to stretch it. I can go both ways with it. I can go to the right, I can go to the left. We are using it. That's where we get out of bounds. When we're using it, the zelba koich that gives us a koich to rectify, to do it right, we're using it to step out. Exactly. Yep. So let's continue going. He explains this very nicely. Vakein ushavim mashma. Yeah. Vakein ushavim mashma. That's therefore the Alter Rebbe wants to explain to you so you can understand what does it mean if can't shivitin. What does it mean I'm forgiven? Because remember, you're dealing with a koyach that is it's sovet. You deal with a koyach that's higher than what this container can hold. It can stretch either way. So take that koyach that can stretch either way and stretch it to a skafia, the tzedukah that we spoke about, to go into silence, to go into presence, to being present, to judge, not to get into a relationship with a negative thought. That comes from soivav. You're tapping in from something that is higher from Yaakov and Esav, the Zolbazar. How can there be the Rusha V'Tovla? Wie kan zeggen dat mens, heeft teure mitzvahs en een mitje zich. Het tzadik v'Rusha, tzadik v'Rabo, Rusha V'Tovla. Yeah? The tzadik and Segatim Nishgit and the Rusha Segatim Git. Two kind of things are popping up over here. How is it possible? Because the Abishter was judged correctly. How is it possible? That comes from the koich of Soidet. Soidet can hold space for both sides, but two opposites. It makes no sense. Very good. It makes no sense. Soidet limitless, yes. It makes no sense. It's not bound to any structure. But our avodah is to have Kabbalah soil and choose to do the right thing with that koich. Use the fabric, use the material to bring positive, to bring a tzedek to this. See positive, use it for the toys. Yes, it's vast, and we can go in there, and we don't need to follow anything because it's kula toys. But he's telling you, like sof, there is yesh dim, yesh daim. Choose the right path. Choose to bring positivity to the unjust. Even if it looks like it doesn't go, sof, the emes is going to prevail because it's the highest frequency, the highest vibration that there is in build. And that's going to win. Sof, the emes is going to win. It's going to outlast the choshev. It has no choice. This is famous psukim that is the same thing. A boy who shenemer es hashemayim v'sa'oretz animale, and in that is staat as hashemayim v'sa'oretz the himmel and the earth ich filun the hana beginnen sovev kalam the less asar ponemene. There's no space that is avegekit for him. He's everywhere. He's in everything. Masha kosev maloi chaloretz kavode who beginnes mamala kalam. He's going to do that right now. Yeah, very good. He's doing that right now. Mamala Kalaman is Imashkos Maloi Chalos Kavod. This is Shtat Kuvit. This is Mamala Kalaman. In the Mamala is no the Kuvit. It's just the Strahlen from the Zin, the rays of the sun. But in the Soides is the Zachalin Animale. That's where is the Eibishter line. That's why we can pull the koich of being a Mechapazam the Chadron. Yeah, is it good? No. Yeah, that was for the he went out for a smoke. So Mamala Kalaman is not. He's going to do it right now. You'll get Mamala Kalaman is filtering the ganze Welt, and Sov Kalaman is emterim the ganze Welt. So it's very good. So we'll do it one more time, quick, 15 seconds. Mamala Kalaman is which is ungefilled in a weinig, and Sov Kalaman is the temperature. When ich fill it undo the container, I'm limited to what I can put in here. I'm limited to what this can hold, and I'm limited as to how much I can put in over here. This can't hold more. I can only put in up to 9 ounces over here. But in Soiviv, I can do anything. It makes no difference. So therefore, I can tap into that and pull Shiva from there, from the Soviet. Ja, maar jetzt is gewoon de kloest en de weinig te wetten. Because, let me just say another this, because Mamale is Torah is Pnimis, and Mitzvahs, Torah is Chachma, Torah is Pnimis, and Mitzvahs is Makif. So Mitzvahs makes no sense. It's a Zalba concept. Mitzvahs doesn't make any sense. Film, Tzitzis, Esek, it makes no sense. Je kan choose naar hebben ook. En je kan choose to hebben. De schrijver is met de hand. It makes no sense. Because it's service. It comes from a place that's not mamali. Also heb ik gewoon. Ik zoek aan Essig en ik zoek aan Lilith. Nog zoek aan Sikke. Het zijn hamers, niet 20. Favors. Also. This is too much, this is too. Why? Kacha. That's it. It makes no sense. It's market. It's service. You can Atalos. Atalos makes no sense. And I'm the with Atalos. But Atalos is mitzvahs and a hecher from Torah. Mitzvahs is a hecher from Torah. Torah kennst du noch. There is a svura. But of a mitzvah, there's no sibba. There's no reason. It makes no sense. He's going to explain it now. Binnen Amrazal, Maskos Molechel is geworden, hoe beginnen het normale kalam, als je niet de kovet. Binnen Amrazal, ein kovet elo teure. Kovet mijn teure. We gaan hem de reis met Chachma, nafkes. Teure komt van Chachma. She me Chachma neemt Shochem lamet businessivers. Fin Chachma werd gezeugen lamet businessivers. Wo zijn de lamet businessivers? Lamet businessivers meint 32 droegen highways. Lamed base is also lev. Lev is heart, and the way to the heart is full base oisius and the same midas. That's the lamed base nasivis. Full base oisius, aleph base, and the same midas. Comes down to the heart. So find the oil mid teure, comes to drive up to the heart, and the heart is fire, just a fire. It has full alle midas in the heart. So if you can control it from your head, you can control your heart. More shalat alalev. You can marshal on Nasiva Shvil, a path that you go through, Sha'as Laverboy, which Magat Adarach Makim Lamakim. Tachman Beginnes Chach Melu, through Fin Chach Melu, and Mshechas Ashpa, the Beginnes Schalkes Luis Mamala Kalaman. Atshim Shwagashus Mamish. Chach Melu is Giglichen to, it's compared to oil, Shemen. Shemen is called Chach Mistema. Why is it Chach Mistema? Because the oil, when you look at it, you can't see anything. Just oil. But it has a secret. When you put the fire to it, it burns. Very interesting. The same thing goes with Nechnasan Yitzusod. What? We're not sure. Yeah, you have to say that, but I'm saying look at the power of oil. It's a hidden power. It's a hidden bomb. It's a hidden secret. As it's still, and this thing can brennen the ganze Welt. Met Chachma kannst du verbrennen anything. The midas, you can overcome anything. There's always with the grapes. The grape has a secret in it. If you ferment it, it's wine. And ze brengt also so. Ze macht over the mensch, and it takes you to different places. So this is a chalik van ze macht over the how you open the keys to open up. The wick is not the blockage. The wick is the in between. Without the wick, yeah. So there's different. Good. So what is the wick? The Torah. The body is the wick. The body is the wick. Torah is the wick. There's different. It depends if either stumkim. The stumkim to mitzvahs and it's the Torah to them. Daftum Torah and mitzvahs. Una mitzvahs Talmud godless shemevila de ma'aseh. Talmud shemevila de ma'aseh. This is all the concept. That's two beide. But eventually with the stumkim. Sachmal is the wick and Sachmal is the wick. Depends where you want to get to. You want to open the door, you need the key. Right? You want to cook food, you need food. Well, in every case, it's something else. He's gonna open it up. He's gonna say it. Where is the serve in the body? Your choice. You can choose what you want to do. That's the service. Your bechira. Bechira is soiv. My choice is the soiv. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. The choice is, that's why from choice we can get into choshech sometimes. And that's k'chashech koyre. We can choose because the behind has no choice. He can't make a mistake. I can't bechira. We have bechira. Such a high level bechira that we can create with our bechira. That's why the soiviv we can take it to the other side. I take the soiviv because I have choice. I can do the wrong move. Yes, choice is the highest. Bechira is the highest. Only we have bechira. Choice is the highest thing. Well, like what? Like what? Lessons. I don't know how to answer it. It's a personal question. I don't know. You're asking a vague personal question. No, he's going to tell you what the wick is. He's going to tell you what the wick is. Okay. Beginnen ze dan zeggen, als we beginnen te vragen, is liefst normale kalama. Als je hem zich bagages met mamisch, dan moet ik terug aan een second. Ik moest dan nog wat je als je later bij de makkel maken. Kijk, beginnen schach met lo. Vind de schach met lo. Dan zeggen ze, als we beginnen te schalken. Kim terug daar spoor, we beginnen te schalken. Ze weet het at least van male kalama. Remember, in male kalama, it's already measured in a schalkes. When it skimt around in the body, it's already measured. Als je hem zich bagages met mamisch, bis skimt around bagages met mamisch beprates. Dine atere, kosher apostle. This is kusher, this is pusel. Shehem ben yonim gashmin, krumus master is a kanoide. Avaloi de mitzvahs nimshach gili oid mit beginnes soviv kalama. In mitzvahs is nimshach gili oid mit beginnes soviv kalama. She beginnes amakev. Once again, it aligns with the Tanya that we learned today, that by doing the mitzvah of tzedukah, you're tapping into soviv kalama. And from there is gili oid. As long as I'm in Mamale, I'm limited to status quo. I'm limited to my container. I'm still limited to I can learn Torah, and I'm limited to my box. But if I want to be mamsh from Soviv Kalama, I have to do mitzvahs. Tzedukah is mitzvahs. Tzedukah is one of them, which is nimshach gila oil. Ve'inyan, kehina yeduah, sha'Torah nasa mazen lo-nefesh. Torah is mazen, food for the nefesh of the kids. Ik moet je kosten voor Seratsche bezoek Maya. Ze zijn mannen gederen, mannen kishkes. Shehu kamoy derech mashal hamazon shenechnas betoich adam. Vanaf ze gais bepnimiyusa. De essen gaat eraan in de mens en ze werd de gais bepnimis. Vakach al de Torah nimshach gilu ye oras hachachma. Through Torah werd nimshach gilu ye oras hachachma. Lies musik basagam mamish. We awesome de worden befiegel. Gewoon alle mannen werken in dat mol. We beginnen met male kalama. We slapen bij allemaal, we beginnen spinini. Mamash. Through Torah is, it got this innovating in the binder, and you're activating chachma. You can make better decisions when you have Torah in your head. Aval mitzvah is nasan levush and nefesh elakis. The mitzvah is a levush for nefesh elakis. Shehu kamay derech mashal halavush. Listen how they break it down. It's very it's interesting to see. The levish comes, it got off and gift from the mensch, Milbamaila, in Drossen. The ene nichnas with them, you say. She got Nishan in the vining. The Clyde of the helmet is on top of the body, top of the good. The Kacham Shocha, and Shechasal, they are mitzvahs. The Amshocha was from bring through the mitzvahs, who will begin to maken. Kimt from the beginning from maken, but nay, she even begin so of Kalam. Shula Malama Saga. But can the levushim Yosi record and betivim Mahamazan. Clothing, kleider costs meer geld die essen. Yeah? Clothing. 1 second. No, but it's making a very cool point there that a client costs meer geld wie essen because she got in drossen, which means it's a market. It's kind van a hechere plaats. This brings you proof down here to the nitty gritty that Kleider is a market. Therefore, mitzvahs is also a makif. It's a lavish. She got from drosen. This is mere time. So too, mitzvahs is a lavish from drosen. A lavish for the body. Huh? What's that? What's that? Yeah. And it lasts longer. It's above the body. It's a makif. Oh, good. Maybe the answer. He's gonna answer your question, my with a wick. He's getting there. V'zeh shekos v'mitzvus tachas asher lo yivaretem roiv koil perish roiv koil u'bechinas Gan Eden hasagas elikus. Gan Eden is gedoe hasagas elikus. Of that is mamasik. Here is Yidis Amatzias and Gan Eden is hasagas elikus. Meant as we are in the soup, we are in the pool, we are in the one with it. Sham mitzvus ham yoser gavoin. Sham bechinas makifim shalamalo ma Gan Eden. Mitzvah is makifim, which is hecher for Gan Eden. Shu hasag b'bechinas pnimis. In other words, Torah is a pnimi. She's do a suga from them. Mitzvahs, is manish masik. Remember, said it's market. It's hecher from Torah. Shu hasag b'bechinas pnimis. And mitzadeh omer ha'omer masik gadol men atalmud. What? Because I'm master godel men a Talmud. Achaf again, nimm regame Talmud godel shemevela demaise. As mdaftim beide. You need the fire and you need the wick. You need the oil, you need the wick. By Indian. He actually says that Shach serve kalman with the mitzvahs masir. Finish meilig to whom Mesoiders am Shach serve kalman al the mitzvahs masir shem mit vorm gashmim tzitzis mitzemer tzedaka b'momen. Mit warm gashme tzitzis mit zemer tzedaka b'mama gashme im loyal de atere. Shu hamamutza mechaber kman derech mashal ba'adam shehadiver hu hamamutza hamechaber emoitza ha'olam hamachshav l'dei gila. So endlich had the word machshav do, maar hand and sheet. So we need both. The selbe weg wie the diver bringt heraus was gaat voor man kop. Om zeggen the cup is the oil, machshav is the oil, and man diver bringt heraus was liegt in cup. So too the Torah bringt heraus was select in the mitzvahs bring it also select in the Torah, but that's by the you need the mitzvahs, which is the panini, and by acting it out, I'm lighting the fire. So the mitzvahs is the fire to the oil, the wick, the fire to the shemen. Neravai nishmas adam. Okay, so you have the mitzvahs, and then you have the Torah, and then you have the action of it. So you have alle drei. Okay, so we want to break it down like this. What was I going to say? The Torah is Chachma. Chachma is Shemen. Look, the mitzvahs is the fire. The mitzvahs is the fire, and the person is the wick. The mention is the Moshe. Was I the Masa? The Masa Moshe puts it on. So what? So the mitzvah is the fire. The mitzvah is mitzvah is the wick. Mitzvah is the wick, and the mensch is the fire. Yeah, the person activates the fire. The person is the fire. By doing it, you're bringing the fire to it. By doing it, you're bringing the fire. So you have the person, which is the fire. Which is the fire. By doing the action, doing the fire, and then the mitzvah is the wick, and the Torah is the shemen.
So the
mitzvahs, we are activating Torah mitzvahs. That's the nuclear reactor, yes. Remember, we spoke about this many times, that we have to do it in the oven. You have to keep putting the fire. You have to keep lighting the fire. You can light the fire by doing Kabbalah's oil malchus, doing and bringing fire that way, or Kabbalah's oil malchus shemayim, bringing the fire through Torah mitzvahs. Yes, of course, learning and doing it. Avoida, remember avoida and mindset. Good, That's what we have in Chodesh Elul. We have a Serusa Lasata. Right now we are doing the action. And Rosh Hashanah is Rosh Hashanah, Serusa Ma'atshuva is a Serusa La'ela. We are receiving. He is giving us back. So right now you have to keep grinding and pushing and pulling and to activate, to break out the chomer, and then when the fire comes down, you're a clean vessel and you can burn. Which is? No. This is the question. I don't know. So you have. Yes. Kind van een eigen plaats.
Fire is lit, but it's not new oil because.
So that's what you're training for. You're learning to understand how to align yourself with the Torah and the mitzvah. That's what we're doing here. We have all the tools. You have the wick, you have the oil, you have the fire. We're learning how to align it. That's what he's teaching us, how to align it. How to, where the fire is, how to see the fire. So many times we have the fire, we're just not aware of it. So many times we have, but I'm not aligned with it. I don't necessarily see it. I don't see the fire. I don't see the flow. I don't know what to look for. How many years did we go through different Yom Tovim? How do we even align with it? And now you're learning, Pesach, Shvita, Sikas, every Yom Tov, where the fire is. We're training. Every mission, every Yom Tov is a different mission, it's a different goal. The fire is there, just a different way how to get the fire into the vessel. All right.